And with all due respect to Memphis, I love Ja Morant, but man, they better win. Because like I said earlier, no one wants to see Steph's season end this week. This dude, he's playing the best basketball of his career. And I know the second MVP year, 30 points on 50, 40, 90, 7 assists a game. That was phenomenal. But the fact that he's doing it now with such little help, you know, no Klay Thompson, no second star on the offensive end, it's just incredible. And last night, we talked about it yesterday. The Lakers defend Steph better than any team in the league. The Lakers are arguably the best defensive team in the league, and he still lit them up. With all due respect to LeBron, Steph was the best player on the court last night. And so he is just playing phenomenal basketball. And like I said about the Lakers, they're more vulnerable than I thought. The Warriors are more dangerous than I thought. If they survive Memphis and get Utah, you know, it's hard not to pick Utah, but I'm going to definitely give Golden State a very good chance of pulling off that upset because of Steph Curry. And then other guys are hitting shots. Jordan Poole. You guys laughed at me, I think it was last week, when I had the audacity to mention Jordan Poole favorably as maybe a weapon. I got chuckled at and giggled at and all that.
Yep.
He can hit threes. JTA. Taylor Horton-Tucker isn't the only one who can get a nickname. JTA. Juan Toscano Anderson. I like him. All right, obviously Draymond. People been ripping Draymond all year. Oh, get 6 points a game. Hall of Famer. He is a great playmaker and has been all year. He's a great defender and has been all year. He was first team all defense on my ballot, so he's been tremendous. And I want to see it right now on national television.
Damn it.
I want an apology from the great Nick Wright. Say it with me, Nick. Andrew Wiggins can ball.
Yeah,
all right, Andrew Wiggins can ball. I'm not saying he's a star, but I am saying the dude is nice. He's become a great defender. I considered him for all defense. Become a great defender. And once Klay's back next year, the Warriors will be legit contenders again because, as I said, Wiggins is a tremendous third offensive option. I love my man Wiggy. Say it with me, Nick. When it's your turn to speak, say it. You got to give Wiggins
It's
props.
Wild's turn. It's Wild's turn to talk. So I'll let Wild go. It's Wild's turn. Go ahead, Wilds.
He did have one great move, Broussard. He had that little turnaround. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was in his game.
Yes,
it was an amazing.
that was nice. Yes.
It was an amazing. We should cue it up because that was great. And I don't know if you're going for like a Canadian Mountie ship or something on how big you are on Andrew Wiggins, but you're doing a fantastic job for this campaign. Here's the problem. One problem with Steph, and this is, and I'm a little bit worried about our guy Evan who came up with the play-in tournament. This has all the makings of a letdown game, and the Grizzlies can win. The Warriors have nothing in the tank. Physically, Steph played a ton of minutes. Draymond played a ton of minutes. They have nothing in the tank emotionally. This was the game they wanted to win. And then on the other side of the ball, there's Ja Morant. We are still waiting for the big Ja Morant moment. We talk a lot about the next wave of superstars, and Ja Morant is always there. Much like the big dunks that he tries to take and then ends up missing. Like, wow, that would have been great if it would have gone in. Nick, that's what we're going to see now. This has to be Ja Morant's moment. I think the Warriors are ripe to be taken down because I think they're physically and emotionally cooked.
Well, listen, I think you make a lot of good points, but I watched this game, Warriors-Grizzlies, with massive stakes. The 8 seed was on the line on Sunday, and the Warriors were in total control through 3 quarters. The Grizzlies made a great push early in the fourth, and the Warriors immediately took back control. And a big part of that was because the Warriors guard Ja Morant the way teams guard Draymond. They just say, well, please shoot. Please shoot. We dare you to shoot. And Ja right now does not have that facet of his game. I think it's a little unfair to say we keep waiting for him. This is his second year, so he will continue to improve. But I do agree that I think we are giving the flowers to the play-in a little early, as great as last night was, because if it costs us the Warriors in the playoffs, it's going to be a net loss for the league. To Broussard's point about Steph, this being his best year, so I think it's a great point. So I think everyone's going to point to the 73 win, like you mentioned, unanimous MVP year, and I'll do a LeBron comp. Like, statistically speaking, LeBron's 2013 season, where they had the 27-game winning streak and he was almost 60% from the field, and they won the title, is his best year. But if you watched it, 2018, after Kyrie left, when he had to do everything himself, and he had his career high in rebounds and assists that year, and then had that remarkable playoff run with the 8 40-point games and the 2-game winners. You're like, I think this might be his best year, even though they got swept out of the finals. I think there are some Steph comps there where, because he's being asked to do more with less around him, he is showing his brilliance. So I think it's a good point. But I also think, if we're going to be fair about the Warriors, Brandon, we have to point out that what has been their Achilles heel for 7 years is turnovers. And what cost them the game last night was turnovers. And Steph Curry, once upon a time, in a Game 7, fourth quarter of a finals, threw a behind-the-back pass. The ball went out of bounds. And last night in the second half, Draymond had 6 and Steph had 4. They had 10 turnovers, the two guys the Warriors have to have. And some of them came in huge spots, and some of them were just careless. So I think I think we can give Draymond all the credit for how great he was in the first half, Steph all the credit for the impossibility of the shots he was hitting, and still say, Brandon, they were way too careless with the basketball in that second half, and that's what let the Lakers, whose offense was drawing dead, get back in it with some transition buckets.
100%. The first half, they were under full control. Then the second half just imploded. But, Nick, I want to go back to what Chris said. He brought up something extremely important. I mean, are we going to get an apology from you? You know, you never got to that.
Brandon.
Like Wiggy, he talked about it. Can we get an apology or what, brother? Like, that's a big deal.
Come on, Nick.
Because nobody.
So
Nick, where you at? Can we throw Nick up there? No, this is a big deal.
Hold on. Don't ask for it if you're not. Let me respond. When Andrew Wiggins was traded to the Golden State Warriors, I talked about what a terrible trade it was for Golden State, how it did not make sense for them, how that's not how they should have used the D'Angelo Russell asset, all of it.
I remember that.
I was clearly and obviously wrong. That asset they got back is the draft pick from Minnesota, is likely they're going to get it, and Wiggins this year, in a role I did not think he could do. He was efficient. He shot better than he's ever shot. He once again, the one thing he always did was play every night. He did that again, and he improved as a defensive player. So I will, listen, Brandon likes to say, Nick, when you're right, I'm with you. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I made fun of Broussard, but thankfully, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please.
Broussard is right. Broussard was right.
Yeah, Broussard was right. I was wrong. Broussard was right.
Listen,
I was wrong.
What's
Andrew
funny?
Wiggins thing I was wrong about.
Listen, what's funny is at the open of the game, I was thinking about you, Chris. How did this game open? What was it, 2 minutes in? Wiggins blocks. He swats LeBron James' shot. Then he comes down and bangs a 3 in LeBron's face. Come on, man. I'm glad that you stood up and you did the right thing. You're a true man of integrity. Hats off to you, Nick.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.